Now, while the first 3 episodes of Watchmen have definitely created a long laundry list of questions, episode 4 definitely kind of helps fill in some of those blanks and answer some of those questions. We're introduced to some new characters, and particularly Lady Trieu and her daughter. We figure out a little bit of a better understanding of what's going on with Adrian and where he is. And tick tock, we're here to talk about all that and much more. Episode 4 of Watchmen was titled, "If You Don't Like My Story, Write Your Own." Trillionaire Lady Trieu finally enters the stage with a mysterious offer. With Blake getting closer to the truth of her cover-up, Angela enlists Looking Glass for help. The Lord trains 2 new servants. Hey everybody, Elliot here today to talk about the latest episode of Watchmen, episode 4, and we're going to dive into the episode here in a bit, but definitely consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with our content. And if you've seen this latest episode of Watchmen, I want to know your theories. I want to know what you're thinking about Lady Trieu. Who is she the new villain of this season? Are we going to learn more about what Adrian is? Is he on space? Is he in the moon? Is he on Mars? I want to know what you all are thinking in the comment section. Let's have some fun theories, have some fun dialogue in the comments. So episode 4, definitely, like I said up top, definitely kind of filled in the blanks. You know, we get kind of 3 main stories we get Angela still figuring out her family history and her backstory and everything with Will and her grandfather, her great-grandfather. We figure out more about Lori, uncovering more of the situation with Judd and Will. We meet Lady Trieu, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit, and we find out more about where Adrian potentially is. So let's just jump right into the episode. So it starts off with, as I'm taking it, as our villain for this season, which is Lady Trieu. We're introduced to her in a very interesting fashion where we see that she's going to this farmer's land, this husband and wife who have no kids, but she proposes to them an offer, which is, I'm going to take your land, I'm going to buy your land and your house, and in exchange for that, I'm going to give you a baby, because she alludes, she tells us everything about their situation, that they've been trying to get a kid and they haven't been successful in doing so. So she has this kid that she offers to them. They accept the offer, and it's just a very interesting way to introduce this new character. And I love how this show does a great job of giving us exposition, because they could have spent, some shows would have spent a whole episode of telling us who Lady Trieu is and all that stuff. But what they did within that scene is that couple gave the audience, us, more information on Lady Trieu. They tell us that she's been in Oklahoma for over a year. She's been building this Millennium Falcon. She's been buying this land, and we're figuring out all this stuff about her, and then we find out more about her later in the episode. But I just love how the show introduce us to something new, and at the same time they give us so much information in so little amount of time, screen time, and I just love how the show does that. So we meet our new, who I think is the new Adrian of this particular era of Watchmen, our new villain for the show, if you want to call it that. So we get all that. In the meantime, we follow Angela. Like I said, we get 3 main storylines. We go to Angela. She's picking up back from episode 2. She goes back to her bakery. She chops up her grandfather's wheelchair, kind of gets rid of the evidence, because, again, Lori's right on the trail and trying to uncover what happened with Judd after his murder. So we see that she's trying to get rid of all that stuff. In the meantime, she runs into Lori again. Her car from last week is there, and she gets the pills out of the glove department. And again, Lori's very suspicious of Angela's intentions. It's her first time seeing her in her get-up, in her outfit as Sister Act. So again, I'm loving the back and forth that we're getting with Lori and Angela so far. So we get all that. We get a little small scene with Angela and Topher discussing. It seems like so far, everything that we've seen from Angela and Topher, they seem to be the most closest as far as her and her other adopted kids. And they have a moment where she confesses that she was scared during that bombing of last week. This is our another introduction to a character, or not introduction, but we're getting more of Looking Glass, a character that I'm very interested in, that we haven't gotten that much screen time from so far in the season. I'm hoping that we get more from him later on. But Angela goes to Looking Glass's bunker. She gives him the pills, asks him to have his ex look into it at her laboratory. So I'm interested to see who that is. At the same time, she reveals what she found in Judd's closet, which was that KKK outfit. So we got that playing out. We transition over to the Silver Outfit Man, aka the funniest part of the episode to me, the Lube Man. We see Angela as she's getting rid of Will's stuff in the garbage. Man's looking at her, and he runs. They have a little chase out. He squirts himself with lube and slides in the sewer. And I'm very interested to see who that is and who's behind that mask and his whole get up and everything behind it. But that was definitely the more comedic moment, or the levity of the episode there was Lube Man. So we transition back to the detectives' headquarters, the police station. And we see that Lori is now taking Judd's office. She took it upon herself to look at fingerprints in Angela's car. She finds Will's fingerprints and finds out a little bit of information. Will was a police officer in the late 40s, early 50s. Might have been an original Minuteman. Who knows? It might have been one of those original Watchmen people. But he was a cop, and it's very interesting to see if we find out more and more of what Lori knows about him. But that was a very interesting detail that we got there. We get a car ride with Lori and Angela, and we find out a little bit about both of them, that they're now kind of finding out about each other's backstory. Angela lost her parents in Vietnam. She's from Vietnam. Angela finds out about Lori and her situation, her dad, and everything of that nature. So they're figuring out more about each other. They're realizing that they have more in common than they do differently. So hopefully they're going to get on the same page within the next couple episodes. So they go to the Millennium Clock and they interrogate, if you want to call it that, Lady Trieu. We meet her daughter, which we actually met her daughter. I believe her name was Beyond. We met her, I believe, episode 2, where she was getting the newspapers, if I'm not mistaken. That's the same little girl. But she tells them about that she's bought Adrian's company now, which, again, like I said, I believe she's the villain of this season. She's believing the same things as Adrian did, and maybe has her own scheme to bring the world together, or maybe to destroy the world. Who knows what her intentions are, and I'm excited to find out what they are. So we get all that stuff at the Millennium Clock. Again, that she bought Adrian's company, and she has a statue of him, and Lori comments on his age and how old he looks in that statue. And speaking of Adrian, we go to his story. We see he's getting these babies, these clones, puts them in a machine, and now we see how he's making these clones. We see that he killed all his servants because he had a bad night, as he calls it, and we figure out within that scene that he's been on this prison, as he called it, for the last 4 years. I have been diving deep into all the theories, all the Reddit stuff. A lot of people are making theories that they think Adrian's on Mars and maybe is a prisoner of Dr. Manhattan, or what the show shows, he might have been on the moon. Who knows? But we know that he's a prisoner and he wants to escape. Very juicy stuff there. And eventually he's going to get on Earth because he's launching these bodies out into the solar system, and hopefully we're going to see how he's going to use that machine to get back on Earth. So a lot of good stuff there. We go back and, Cal and Angela have a conversation about Lori coming by. We find out that Cal has some accident in Vietnam. It'll be interesting to see what that accident was. And then as the show wraps up, we have, Beyond and Will, they're talking to each other, or Beyond. We have Lady Trieu and Will talking to each other, and they seem to have some agreement together. We see Will can walk. He doesn't need a wheelchair, even though he's 100 plus years old. And there's some type of deal going on, and Lady Trieu thinks that it's compromised because now Will has his family involved, but he promises her that everything's still going on, and tick tock. So very interesting episode. It's 4 for 4 for me. I am so invested in this show. Again, when the show is not on, I'm looking at theories on Reddit. I'm reading you all's comments. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm listening to the podcast on HBO. I'm so invested in this world. I'm loving the episode. It's so well written. Again, even though we haven't gotten every single question answered, that's fine, because I know how Damon Lindelof, how he handles his story, is going to all pay off in the next few weeks, and I'm just so excited for it. I'm loving doing these reviews with you all and interacting with you all. You guys watching this, I really appreciate it. So I really enjoyed this episode. Again, this filled in a lot more blanks from the previous 3 episodes, and Will is the key to this mystery, and we're going to figure out more about him. We're going to figure out who his Looking Glass ex-girlfriend is, more about Lady Trieu, more about Cal's accident. There's so much, and I'm just so excited for in the coming weeks. So that's my thoughts on the review on this episode. Thumbs up for me again, 4 for 4. I'm loving this season. Like and share this video. Let me know in the comment section what you all thought of this latest episode of Watchmen. And I want to know all your theories. I want to know who you think Lady Trieu is. Is Adrian on Mars by Dr. Manhattan? What's going on with Cal? Who's Looking Glass ex-girlfriend? Let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you all for watching this review. Keep an eye out for some more videos coming up this week. We got Disney Plus, The Mandalorian, all that fun stuff coming this week, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching this week's episode review of Watchmen, and we'll see you on the next video.